Do you segment them like YouTube videos where you're like, at this timestamp, we drink this beer so that people can fast forward to the beer they want to hear about?
No. You gotta listen to it all.
You know how to book flights and hotels. All you're missing is a tool to plan the travel experiences you'll have once you arrive. That's why you need Viator. Book guided tours, excursions, and more in one place. There are over 300,000 travel experiences to choose from, so you can find something for everyone. And Viator offers free cancellation and 24/7 customer support for worry-free travel. Download the Viator app now and use code Viator10 for 10% off your first booking in the app. Find travel experiences for you. Do more with Viator.
This week we're drinking spring beers with Matthew Moldenhauer. This is episode 135 of the Malting Hour.
What's the haps on the hops? Got yeast, that's bees. This the Molten Hour where we talk about our drink and tell you what we think every other week. And if we get drunk, well, we might slur our speech. Got the gift of gab, the friends you wish you had. Join us for a drink, join us for a laugh. Time is never wasted, where you getting wasted. The Molten Hour here, people take your places. People take your places. People take your home.
Welcome to the Malting Hour. I'm one of your hosts, Tony Golick, joined always with
Brandon Winninger.
And to his right,
Matthew Moldenhauer.
Matthew, welcome back.
Thanks. It's been a little bit.
I think it's been like 10 episodes. I said, Matthew's coming back. It became like a false Clark promise. But you're no false Clark.
I've met Clark, right?
Yes, you've met Clark at least once. At least once.
Yeah, he drinks our beer, so I appreciate it.
He does. He's a fan. He brings the family to the brewery often. Or when he can, at least. Anyway, Brandon, how you doing?
Good, man. Living the dream. Getting ready for Easter.
Yeah, well, you know, April Fool's, it's April 1st.
That it is.
There you go.
Can't believe it's already fucking April.
Yeah, no, that's pretty insane. I already, you have plans for Easter, obviously.
Yeah.
We talked about that. Which brings us to today's topic. Or today's, episode.
Yeah, it would be a topic.
Easter beers. No, they're beers for spring. Who doesn't love a good spring beer?
Some of these can be anytime beers. I think a lot of them.
But no, there's like a bunch of different styles that like once you get into spring. I was doing a little bit of research on this, and it's pretty across the board. I kind of wish I found a Berliner Weiss, but I did not come across that in my journey today. But like, there's my box. Obviously, actually Matthew did bring one, but that was featured last year, so we can still drink that. I purposely avoided box because I feel like I went hard on that. We went hard on that last year. So Gozas, wheat beers, some like sour beers, things like that, like fruited sour beers. Those all are like springtime beers. Pale ales, brewed IPAs, because you know how many people make brewed IPAs still.
I don't think anybody does.
West Coast, someone does.
Yeah, I'm sure. It was a fad that died out
very quickly,
and I was okay with that.
It's unfortunate because I think
you like that?
I think there was. I always forget the brewery out of San Francisco who started it.
Mm-hmm.
It's similar to Hazy, where most people were not making it correct, and people gave up on it really quickly because it was just a bunch of people made really bad examples of the style.
That's probably what happened with the couple that I tried, because I was like, I do not like this.
It's my issue with most of those amber lagers in my box and Oktoberfest nowadays.
Yeah.
Did anybody in Chicago do one?
I'm sure somebody did.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume so, but I can't remember offhand. I think I may have had like one or two.
I just remember the brewed IPA. I don't remember who did it, that I had was just incredibly bitter and not balanced with anything.
It's the problem with the champagne yeast and hops.
They blew it. But anyways, yes. So brewed IPA was also a part of that, which I can see if done correctly, not very sweet and being a refreshing beer.
Yeah, my biggest thing for anything for spring is kind of the not opposite of the fall, but you want beers with a lot of flavor that you can drink more of as the sun comes out. To me, that's those amber lagers. Those are lower ABV, some fruit beers. Oberon every year. I'm not into much of the wheat beers anymore, but like that little bit more heft with that sunshine kind of feeling. Yeah,
I love
those kind of beers that are great.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've had an Oberon too. Yeah.
I normally grab Oberon when it gets first come back around, and
I'm surprised. It's almost April 1st. Oberon hasn't released yet.
Probably has. I haven't been on a hunt for it, but yeah. But also I've seen like we were just talking before we started recording about beers sitting on the shelf of
So it begins.
different liquor stores or whatever, and there's a pretzel on the floor. She might eat it. No, she sniffed it. Aggie is not interested. Also, it looked like someone stepped on a pretzel at one point.
It's possible.
Great. That I still see, because they were doing like different releases over on lately, like a spring, summer, and fall, which different packaging. I don't necessarily think there was I don't think there was a change in the beer. I think it was just a packaging thing, which is kind of representing of when it starts and when it's full fledged and when it's going away. There's still like the fall over on packages sitting out in my Jewel, where it's like I'm not sure it's fine, but also.
That's a risky maneuver right there.
I don't want to buy that.
I don't like having anything that talks about the seasonality of a beer or having like pumpkin or certain things that make people know that they can't or they won't drink it after a certain date. So if you change the style of the same beer, that has to be a nightmare just coordinating with accounts and who's going to drink what.
I think it's just a packaging thing as much as I don't know if they're actually changing the actual beer itself. I have to look into it.
No, I agree.
Oh, you're saying. Oh, yeah, the packaging.
Is like the packaging stays the same, but then the people who are going, if they see, it's the same thing. I even think of Miller when they do the football beers.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Super Bowl's done. You see a beer that has Chicago Bears on it, and you're like, why am I drinking this?
That's right. I think
beer's fine.
Last summer, I got a Diet Dr. Pepper from my the soda machine at my work, and it had a football on it for college football. I'm like, interesting. That hasn't started yet. This is a year old. It was fine, but still, that's like okay. Anyway, so we're gonna do some spring beers, bro. Actually, Brandon, what comes to your mind when you think of spring beers?
That kind of in the same wheelhouse. I've always like. Before I really got into craft beer, but it was always wheat beers and, the traditional lagers and just very light beers. But then, now I'm like usually you spend a lot of winter going through stouts and barrel-aged stouts and things like that. And I'm like, give me an IPA, give me something with some give me some hops. Like, that's the way to do it. I mean, I don't judge beers by their seasons. I drink them when I'm in the mood for them.
I drink beers when I fucking want to.
Yeah, pretty much.
Perfect. Well, you said IPA. I think we're going to start off with that.
Oh,
boom.
right.
Also, because these have been sitting out for now a little bit, and I don't really like drinking a warm IPA as much as some of these other ones. They'll be okay. Oh, do you want to put them in there? Can you put them in there for me? Just drop them? Matthew's got a backpack cooler. You're okay. Just, come on. You've been on the show before. Drop them in there. There we go. The first beer that we are going... Okay. That's foamy. First beer that we're going to try out is from Evanston's own Temperance. It is Throwing Frisbees at the Sun, West Coast style IPA, 6.3% alcohol by volume. Let's give it a try. Have you guys ever had this one before?
I don't think so.
No, but it's a beautiful can, especially if for springtime. For people who can't see it because we're not on video. It's light blue and yellow stripes across. It just makes me think of sunshine in the spring. So
that one's down.
We're throwing stuff.
That like coaster always sticks to whatever I put it on. So the damn Boulevard coaster.
Interesting. Let's see here.
Oh, thanks.
I don't know when they recently. I don't know when this was actually released. It smells fresh though. Not gonna lie. Someone checked it in.
Tastes fresh.
Looks like mid-February, so it's about a month old.
Okay. Yeah, I was getting worried because a lot of ones I saw, the people I had friends with, 2023 was the last time I saw it checked in. I was like, uh-oh. No, that's not the case.
Yeah, beautiful nose. I love the clarity on that.
Yeah. There's like a fruity, not dank. You know what I mean? Not like not a weed type dankness to it.
It's that hop dankness that comes with these West Coast IPAs.
Resinous.
I am surprised by the amount of body that I'm getting off
really
it.
good.
I thought that was going to be like an 8-9% double.
Yeah.
And that's only 6.3%. So they really have that
really
rich malty body on that almost like 10 years ago IPA style.
I mean, Gatecrasher is their flagship beer, and I really do like that. I think that has that same type of body like you're describing. I'm going to go through the style here, the details of it. It's a bright and refreshing throwback West Coast IPA laden with a heady mix of earthy and fruity aromas and balanced by true to style hop bitterness. I agree. Honestly, I think this is fantastic. It's really good. I can't believe I've never had this before. I thought I've tried pretty much all of Temperance's beers over the years.
And a lot of times there's breweries, especially if they have a small tank, that they'll just do brewery only releases. So
true. But yeah.
I was gonna say I picked up the can and looked at it, and there was a split second where I was like, "Dude, this says 8.3." I'm like, "No, it's 6.3."
Wouldn't have been surprised with my terrible eyes of not wearing my glasses when I need to, and they're just readers; they're not actual prescription.
Yeah,
anyway,
readers.
So have you ever guys gone up to the stage?
No.
So I don't know how exactly they're affiliated, but they do the concert series during the summer.
Yeah, which I wanted to check those out.
Yeah, they've had some great bands there. I used to live near enough that I could hear people practicing when they were doing it.
That's cool.
But yeah, when you have craft beer and
a bunch of
music, you're not going wrong.
Yeah,
I think that's what
great
the
combination.
Salt Shed has been doing great is.
Well, with Goose Island about to open their tap room over there, that seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Do we know when is that scheduled to open?
Not sure, but I'm looking forward to that happening, and I'm looking forward to going to some shows this summer. At the Salt Shed.
Which, in theory, it's not even that much further than where the other one was.
No, not at all. I would park at Clybourne, and walk to the Salt Shed to go see shows.
We did that.
Oh yeah, we did it for Manchester and Jimmy Eats World.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I've done every time. It was nice because go there, go to Goose, have a couple of beers, and walk over there. And now it's like just find parking over there and still start at Goose and then go to Salt Shed. Plus, Salt Shed, the music venue is the outside is awesome. And the shows.
I'd love to see it. I want to see an outdoor show there.
That's on this summer. I get to see 2 shows. So
Nice.
Pretty excited. There's tickets still available if you'd like to come with me.
Okay, let me know.
One's on the 4th of July. The one's on the July 6th.
Oh, you're like doing back to back almost.
It's like a 4-day thing that they're doing.
Oh, okay.
4th of July is My Morning Jacket, and 6th of July is Thundercat and Bad Bad Not Good. That's the one I really want to go to.
Interesting.
Please tell me that you're going to have an American flag bathing suit that you're going to wear that.
It's going to be an American flag Speedo.
It's the only way to go.
But I'm imagining that it's going to be pretty great because it's an outside show and it's 4th of July and fireworks you can see all around the city. You can see a lot from the Salt Shed. So that should be pretty fun. What is this, the Salt Shed plug all of a sudden? Is she telling you to shut up?
Probably.
Brandon is holding Aggie, the cat, the mascot, the Moldenhauer mascot, and she is putting her paw up to Brandon's
She's petting him.
Oh, she's petting you.
She's like, my litter hands all on your face.
Yeah, I think this is I think this is a good start to a spring beer. You know, this reminds me of spring. I don't drink a lot of IPAs during the winter, actually, unless there's like a big double IPA that somebody.
I think that's usually it's double or triples that I'll try.
If I'm trying to get wrecked during the holidays and I want something hoppy, I'll go straight for a triple IPA.
Do you want to
Otherwise,
talk
it's
about
straight barrel aged beers all the way.
Talk to my therapist about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing some pale ales this spring.
I you know what? I almost bought Sierra Nevada's pale ale, but we've had that before on the show, and I didn't want to just have it again. Although pale ales are probably one of my, we've talked about it. It's my favorite style of beer. It's so good. It's the best. Brandon, how many Frisbees are you going to be throwing at the sun for this beer?
I'm going to go 4-2.
4-2. I like it. Matthew, how many Frisbees would you throw at the sun with this beer?
3.75. I think it's a great beer for what it is. Just for me personally, I think it's just a little too hefty. 10 years ago, I probably would have given this like 4.5.
Maybe even 5. No, sorry. Never 5. If it's Gatecrasher, Clark's giving it a 5 all the time.
I love Gatecrasher.
It's a fantastic beer.
I'm pretty sure that was his I think that's his first check-in on Untappd. Gatecrasher.
Really?
5 stars. He really loves Gatecrasher. I don't know. I wonder if he still does. We should do a blind taste test and see. Ooh, that's a good idea. Clark, let us know when you have free time, and we're going to do a blind taste test where you can come back on the show for the first time in a year and 4 months, and we will do a blind taste test and see if you can pick out Gatecrasher between 3 different beers.
Gatecrasher, Charlatan.
And
That's all I got.
That's all I got. We'll figure it out. Yeah. That was good. Good start. I would throw 4 Frisbees at the sun for this one.
Solid.
I think we're all in the same ballpark here. Good starting point.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to do next? It's already there.
Yeah.
Matthew, since you're... did you just do that with your ring?
Yep.
He's a real American badass.
It's what my college ring does the best with.
The fact that you wear a college ring is pretty impressive.
My grandmother got my brother one, and so there was always the have to have fairness in the family.
The fact that you have a college ring is impressive. I didn't finish school. What are we drinking, Matthew?
This is the new Glarus strawberry rhubarb.
Sorry. This is the new... Oh, there's something new? Glarus. Rhubarb. How new is this beer, Matthew?
This is probably about 1.5 years old. This is from when we did the Beer, Bacon, Cheese Fest.
Great time.
I saw you guys there. But I've loved these beers. I don't think these beers... We'll see. I'll try it. But I don't think they really go bad. You have so much fruit. And
I've held on to many of these for a couple of years. Not the rhubarb specifically, but I know the Wisconsin Belgian Red, the raspberry tart one. What's the other? The mixed one. They have the mixed berry one.
Serendipity. Yeah. That's a great one. This is doing exactly what it says it does.
Yeah, this is not.
You can't do wrong with this beer.
No.
And I think this was one of the first, I may have said this, but one of the first new Glarus beers I ever had.
I think so. I think we've talked about that.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's a great beer. I am particular to the Wisconsin Belgian Red, which I still have one more left at my house.
My wife is upstairs enjoying one right now.
Oh. You know what? I might have one when I get home. That's like liquid.
You can bring her some of this.
You should. It's like a liquid cherry Jolly Rancher, that one. It's so good. And I don't want to... I feel like I'm dumbing it down when I say that, but that's like in the utmost. Like, I'm giving that a huge compliment for what I feel about that.
I mean...
I still don't know how they necessarily... And again, because they don't really put styles on here.
No, not at all.
And so this is like, for me, right in between that fruited ale and sour, where it has just a little bit of acidity. But even compared to our sours, like, this has way less acid.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just like, it hits that perfect point of just, this is a fruit beer.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. There's no, like, it's not like a kettle sour or anything. There's no, like, sourness. It's 100% like, here's a beer. It tastes like fruit.
Yeah. Even our sours that are still very low acid, I still occasionally get people, most people are like, that don't like sours still like ours.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But some people will be like, oh, that's still too much acid. These, I think anyone who doesn't like sours could still enjoy this as long as they like fruit.
I didn't even, like, I would have never even classified it in the, like, realm of a sour when I first had it. I'm like, there's just so much. You're getting strawberry, you're getting rhubarb, you're getting everything that it's claiming it has. And there's some tartness, but I'm like, that comes from the strawberry. Like, it's so, I mean, it's such a well-balanced beer, and you can tell that, you know, they have some pride when they make this one.
Yeah, the one part I will disagree is they say the sweet strawberries attain the barbaric wild tart fermentation of rhubarb.
Yeah, I said that as well.
I don't think it's that barbaric.
Yeah.
Also, that goes escaped from the far corners of neighboring yards. Local rhubarb was incorporated into the wild sour fermentation to create the drinkable dream. Bright, sour, and effervescent. Toast chill cold to bright skies, fireflies, bare feet, and rhubarb pies.
Sounds like spring.
Or summer.
It's the spring episode.
Oh, right, spring episode. Sorry. I'm glad you brought this beer.
I mean, yes, and.
Yes, and. Back to improv. No, good call on breaking that up. I am bringing that out. I was just say breaking that out and then breaking it. Anyways, I'm still planning on one weekend very soon. I think I'm going to wait for May. I'm going to just drive up over the border and fill my car up with just a bunch of new Glarus, because why not just go up to Wisconsin for the day and bring back a bunch of new Glarus.
Hit the cheese castle.
Cheese fest.
Oh, fuck, that's a good idea. He's got me. Damn. Yeah, not a bad idea. I love we've had a number of new Glarus beers, but I would like to explore some of the other ones that we haven't really talked about. Even when we did the one new Glarus episode that we did.
I would be interested. I love like that when we went up there, we grabbed like the R&D beer.
Yes,
like that was fantastic, and just the stuff that like doesn't get wide released, and it's like at the brewery. Like there's like some hidden gems in there too. So it's always, I mean, it's a cool spot regardless. So like, but stopping there to like pick up stuff,
much better.
Yeah, and I've heard.
Sorry for the yawn.
I'm
not bored.
Sorry.
Sorry. That came out of nowhere.
I've heard that like
should have waited.
It's a little pricey. Like even at the brewery, like their prices are a little higher. You go to the gas station across the street, and it's like cheaper, but you're paying for the convenience,
of course,
and the ambiance.
Well, yeah. I mean, and they're getting the money, so they made it. I'm okay with that. I am okay with it.
And take a tour if you go.
Yeah,
that's pretty
fun.
fun.
R&D beers were fantastic. Because didn't we grab 2? Did we try 2 or at least just 1?
Maybe you did 2, possibly.
I thought maybe we did 2. Maybe we got one hidden here that you don't know.
That's quite possible.
Also very possible. But yeah, great choice. I look forward to. That's why I miss going to the Great Lakes Beer Festival out in Racine, because that was the first time I would have the Staghorn their Oktoberfest. That Oktoberfest is
still one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's like the bees. Beer. You know what? We need to make sure that this year's Oktoberfest episode we have some of that, because I don't think we've had that on this.
No,
have we? Nope. Did you bring it? Maybe. Well, I feel like that's something you would have brought, Matthew. I'm looking at it.
We may have had it, but not on an episode.
Yeah, I definitely had it before, but I don't know if it was a. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I would say during that time when it should be released is the Great Taste of the Midwest up in Madison.
Yeah, might try and do that this year. I mean, there's been many years where I always forget about it because I've never gone.
It's the same weekend as Metallica this year.
Guess where I'm not going this year? The Sorry, Brandon, I can't go to the gift that you got me to go see a band I would never go and see again, probably, and I need to get it off my bucket list. Sorry. Yeah, no, I'm going to Metallica. Sorry, buddy. Yeah. There's always next year, right? It's like the Cubs or the Bears.
Gotta get invited back.
Fuck. That's right. Matthew, what are you thinking about this? How many rhubarb pies are you giving this?
I mean, this has to at least be a 4 for me. It's still solid.
I think that's a high praise for you. 4.
Yeah. I mean, 4 is 4 out of 5.
It's pretty good. Brandon, how many rhubarb pies are you giving this?
I'm in the same wheelhouse, but I'm like between like 4.25 roughly.
I looked at Untapped and I agreed with it. I'm giving it 4.25.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a great Untapped rating to maintain. So
absolutely, I don't remember the last time I checked that in, but that's not one I always get. I do not like. You see the raspberry one and the.
Do you like that raspberry?
Wisconsin Belgian red. I see those the most. As far as the fruited berries go, Serendipity though is so good.
Yeah,
I would love to I'd love to get that again. I'm gonna go up 1 weekend. I'm gonna go up next weekend. I'm just gonna drive to Wisconsin next weekend randomly and just buy a fucking bunch of new Glarus beers. I'm doing it, guys. I'm doing it. No one can stop me. Okay.
Poppycock.
Shit. I'm sorry. What's that?
I said Poppycock.
What about him?
That's our next beer. It's Gary's version. Surprised it doesn't say Poppy Cunt.
I was just gonna say Gary the Cunt. Fucking Gary.
What a guy.
Do you guys bleep on this show?
Not when it has to do with Gary. Where's the beer from, Brandon?
It's from Alarmist. Yeah, and when we did the Alarmist episode, I remember Tony was like, I don't know how I'm going to edit this.
You know what I did? I didn't edit much of it. In fact, I dropped a see you next Tuesday at the end of the episode. So
because he was like trying to get everybody to say it.
Yeah.
I think Dan was there too. Dan was like holding out. He's like,
I don't think Dan said it. I don't think Dan said it. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Poppycock, English style pub ale, 4.1% from Alarmist Brewing. This is Gary's version.
Is there another version?
Yeah, well, this year apparently Gary went over to the UK and he had some ideas when he came back.
I like that.
He had a lot of English milds over there.
I don't think so.
This is Ahoy Matey. This here is an English style ESB pub ale brewed with Golden Promise malt, English and Slovenian hops, and our house English ale yeast. All right, let's see what you got, Alarmist. I've never had this before.
I know at the brewery they just tapped their last firkin of this too. So
Ooh, they had a firkin?
Damn,
Firkin crap.
frickin' Poppycock. That's good. That's good.
I like it.
That's a spring beer for me, man. That's really good.
This is like the patio's just open, the sun's shining. You can have a few of these.
It's the one time I might watch baseball because we're just hanging out on the patio and it's on TV and I'm facing the TV and I don't really like the conversation I'm having, so I'm going to keep looking up at the TV. That's how I'm feeling about this beer.
Yeah, sports.
Ask Tony if he cares about baseball. This is very good. I was just going to say, I like the mild bitterness of it and everything. Basically just going to describe, an ESB pub ale. Like it's
spot on. Pretty,
it's still a style that most people don't know. So
I don't
feel
understand.
free to explain.
It blows my mind that styles like this aren't popular when it's to me it's just an easy drink. It's like it's not a lager, but there's that light bodiness to it, and there's like a crispness to it. Crispness to it.
It does taste like Christmas.
I did have one cocktail before I came by tonight, guys. I'm not gonna lie. By cocktail, I mean
it was a pint of bourbon.
I did have some bourbon before I came by. It's just over rocks. It was just two jigs in there. That was it. But there's a crispness to this that reminds me of like a really crisp like lager, but the bitterness I think is what might turn people off from this beer. Americans, when I say people,
I don't feel like it's. I mean, I've had some ESBs that have a lot more bite than this, but I don't think that's traditional. Like, I just think those are not done well. This is very well balanced.
There's a nice sweetness to this too.
Yeah. And I wouldn't classify this personally as an ESB. And Gary, because they took the shortcut, they just call it an English style pub ale.
The fuck, Gary?
It's not a style. It's just basically trying to represent a feeling. I agree, Aggie.
Man, Aggie just called you the C word, Gary.
But yeah, the ESB for me is that like a little bit more richness, that roasted malt, that almost like brown ale that has a little bit more of that sharp bitterness on the back end. Where this,
good point.
And this is why, like, to a lot of people, they're calling them English style pub ales because they don't know necessarily what to call it. Well, which people understand. Which is it a less bitter? Is it an ordinary bitter? Is it an English mild? Is it a dark mild? Is
just
it
inventing styles.
It's not. Let me take one more sip here. Hold on, Brandon. You talk about your feelings on this beer.
I have feelings. They make me sad. I think it's
feelings are making you sad.
Yeah, that's what feelings do. Even when they're happy, I'm sad. I think it's.
Do you want to talk about that?
It's a really. I think it's a really well balanced beer. Like, and kind of to Matthew's point, is it an ESB? No, but going back, like just racking my brain of thinking of like stuff that I had like when I was in Ireland or like when I had to stay over in like Heathrow Airport. There were some beers that I was grabbing that were like really tasty. And it's similar to that. It's not exactly the same, but it's a good representation of like, an English style beer, and I think we mentioned that there's a nice sweetness, there's a nice bitterness, and they complement each other really well in this. And I enjoy it. I think it's a really easy drinking beer. I would totally go back for this.
Yeah.
On a patio, in my yard, in my bed, whatever.
In the shower.
Yeah.
Late night around the fire.
And it's part of our culture that I wish was more prevalent of having a lower ABV beer that you could sit around. This is the kind of beer for me that I would love to be grilling with where, you have all of this flavor and you're talking with people and you're enjoying the sunshine or inclement weather because it's Chicago. But
here comes the snow again.
You can have a couple of these and still have good conversation versus have a couple big boys, and then
I'm not talking to anybody
There's
anymore.
no conversations here.
I don't like the way Brandon looked at me. You're off the show.
Get away from me. I'm going to burn my burgers.
That's pretty much right. Matthew, how many poppycocks are you giving this?
I would say 4 still too, especially for the style.
Dang it.
Even if it's called an English style pub ale.
Gary's version.
Yeah.
Womp womp.
Go Gary.
Gary.
Still mad at you, Gary. I'm gonna
Yeah,
talk to you.
Ethan's version was better. I'm just saying.
Whoa! Shots fired. Pew 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 pew.
Brandon, how many poppycocks are you giving this?
I'm going 4 as well.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I'm going for poppycocks as well. I think it's a great representation of what could be a nice spring beer. Brandon, what's the time we're looking at?
It is time.
What is the time? Actual
About 30 minutes.
Well, 30 American minutes.
Yes.
Fantastic. We'll be right
As
back.
opposed to 30 British minutes.
It's just something I'm trying out that I learned. We'll be right back after this ad.
And we're back.
Welcome back, everybody. We hope you enjoyed that ad. Go ahead and check out our sponsors. We need money. We don't really need money. We're back. We're doing spring beers. If you're just joining us for the second half of the episode, more power to you. That's weird as shit. But I'm thinking the more I say that, there might be some people just joining halfway through. Brandon brought up a good point. You know, we're more intoxicated by the second half of the episode. Maybe we're more interesting. Maybe we're funnier. I don't know.
Do you segment them like YouTube videos where you're like, at this timestamp, we drink this beer so that people can fast forward to the beer they want to hear about?
No. You gotta listen to it all.
Matthew, what are we drinking?
We are drinking a collab that we did with Lucky Door that's been a few years
Jeez,
that we haven't done in a long time called Supersonic Fuzz Gun.
you should tell us about that beer.
Yeah, Kyle, who is taking over running Lucky Door, took over for his brother Nilo, who is out in Hawaii now.
Ooh.
And so this beer we had done 2019, 2020. So some people had gotten to see it right before the pandemic hit and everything shut. Obviously, during the spring, things didn't happen. And so this has apparently been one of the most requested beers from their audience to bring back. And
Awesome.
So we rebrewed it, same recipe. And I never had gotten to see the recipe before, so I never knew how ridiculous it was. And so this 15-barrel batch has 840 pounds of peach puree.
What the fuck?
I think that's the first time Brandon's ever said "what the fuck" on a podcast.
That's a lot of puree.
Yeah, lemon rind, and it's just our beautiful sour base. And so this beer is just over the top kind of spring for me, where it has all this fruit with just a little bit of that lemon rind to give it some balance. And so while it is available, you'll see it at Lucky Door on draft. You can get Crowlers, and then you can get it at Old Irving, just put out this past week.
Cool. I will be probably stopping by tomorrow to grab some.
I think this is another one that Becca would like too.
Absolutely. If you want to save a,
There's some in there.
Yeah.
There's an extra can.
This is the, what the hell? I was going to take that. Now I got to go buy it from these guys.
Yeah,
I
you can
get
have it.
free beer from them all the time, and now I just now I got to buy the beer. I'm joking. I buy beer.
It's because you're from New Jersey.
I buy it from your accounts all the time. What the hell? God. No, save it, Rebecca. It's really good. Really tasty. The peach and the... It's funny because... Sorry, I shouldn't play with caps while we're talking. With how much peach is in there, it's not like... I don't feel like it's a punch in my face of peach where it overtakes everything because of the... Like you said, it's the sour, like cushy base, which I think is the right amount of... If someone's not familiar or has never tried a sour beer, cushy, I feel like, is definitely the way to go. I know we were talking... I don't know if that was on mic or not, but I feel like cushy is a great example of here's a sour beer or a fruited sour beer that is approachable without it being like, oh, it's sour, it's no good, or it's very tasty. The peach is perfect, but that lemon rind in there, that I think is what makes this beer exceptional.
It's a nice like little addition because when you first go in, I'm getting a lot of peach, but then that lemon just kind of rounds it all out and like, hey, dude, this is really good. I don't remember if I had it before.
I've never had this before. For sure.
I mean, it's quite possible. It's also quite possible. Like this is like right up Becca's alley. So this is probably something she may have had, you know, when we were going there before the pandemic. Yeah, fucking great.
Yeah, and one of my favorite things, if you guys look at the glass, you just see that.
Yeah, I notice it's sticking to the side of my...
That's how you know it's real fruit.
Yeah. It smells wonderful, too. It's this is definitely another perfect spring beer. Good summer beer, too. This would be a good summer
I'm pretty
beer.
sure it took millions of peaches.
Peaches for free?
No.
I wish.
Bummer.
Matthew had to puree all the peaches himself.
Oh my god, could you imagine?
Not microphone.
That's just insane.
That is, I mean, hey, more power to them.
Yeah.
Brandon, how many peaches? I was trying to think of something.
Peaches for me?
Peaches for free. How many free peaches are you going to give this out of 5?
I'm going 4.5, man.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy this. And again, like, I love everything at Old Irving, but like the sours are not usually my go-tos. It's like the IPAs or the stouts or other things.
Don't you still have a cushy on tap here?
I do.
Nice. I
Trying to go through those kegs, man. I'm like, I need space. I want to brew something.
sorry. Yeah, I'll just real quick. Mike has asked. He goes, I think I sent you the video. The guy who makes cocktails. He took a mason jar and filled it up with cinnamon toast crunch.
Oh yeah.
Poured bourbon in there and let it sit overnight. Then strained it and had like cinnamon, sugar, like bourbon for old fashions. Still want to try that. When I showed that to Mike Kelly, he was like, "Oh man, he's like, I really don't like beers that have all that shit in it or whatever." He's like, "But that cinnamon toast beer over at Brandon's is really good." I'm like, if I ask him, I'm sure I can get you some.
Well, apparently you just need to have a spring cookout.
Yeah, right?
Oh, nice. Matthew, you might be slightly biased, so you really don't have to rate this unless you would like to rate it.
No, thank you. I do really like this beer, and it's one of the things that I've always appreciated. We actually just had, Glenn's had one of the brewers from Herder in Austria. He came by the brewery, and one of the comments he made to Trevor, that Trevor really appreciated, he just goes, "Oh, your beers are very balanced."
Wow.
And that's what I love is like, this is the over the top, the dumb amounts of fruit, the slushy sour craziness, but because of the lemon meringue, because of the souring process, like it's still a beer.
There's more thought behind it of making it a beer instead of just being like, here's all this goofy shit in a can with carbonation.
Yeah, and I think
alcohol.
I think the real fruit also lends to that, where like you don't have this like little bit of that artificial sweetener. Like there is sweetness, but it's because of peach.
Yeah, and not like a whole bunch of lactose or anything like that. Yeah, I really like this. I am going to grab some tomorrow. That sounds delicious. I am going, based on the style alone, 4.3 on this one. Because I still think the blueberry cushy is my favorite. And I don't remember what I gave that, but that might be around there, maybe higher. Again, based on the style as well. Blueberry cushy is just really, 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 really refreshing. I really like it. Should we rinse the glasses real quick?
Yeah, you might need that.
I'm gonna rinse the glass. We can grab from the bag, or we can have what I have here.
Oh yeah.
There you go. You want us to keep talking about stuff?
Sure.
Hey Matthew, how's it going?
Not too bad.
This is a little break we're gonna get in between. Let's see, what can we talk about? What's a spring thing we can talk about?
When are you gonna come do yoga?
I'd like to do it this week. I'm getting my gym membership this week as well. I'm ready. It's time. I don't want to be a guy who retires from working in a warehouse and can't move. No offense, Rick.
Yeah, I get to work with a lot of guys. I similarly had a moment where there's so many people that I work with that are in their 40s. They're just like, I can't move. My hips hurt. My back hurts.
I don't want to be that guy.
And I was like, yeah, I want to be able to ride bikes and do yoga and run around when I'm 80, 90.
Yeah.
And
also, thanks for blowing up my spot and telling people I'm in my 40s. All right, the next beer we're going to have is from Marz Brewing.
I said who I worked with.
Yeah, well, they're in their 40s as well. Okay, I'm just saying that, okay? I'm just joking. People already know how old I am. The next beer we're going to have is from Marz. Oh, look at that. Back-to-back beers for back-to-back breweries that are going to be at Chicago on tap April 25th, Friday,
Ooh.
April 25th. Thursday, April 25th. Yo, I almost blew that. Good thing you brought up C2E2 earlier. Thursday, April 25th. You can still get your tickets. Go to Meals on Wheels and go to events and select Chicago on tap. And there's some code out there. Listen to our episode. I got the code. I don't know the code. Do you remember the code?
Shy on Tap VIP.
Man, I need to stop drinking and smoking weed. This is from Marz. It's called Ruby's Tears. It is a goza with hibiscus and lime and sea salt. I was very much looking forward to this one. I'm a big fan of lime sea salt beers, especially goza, as Beer for Tacos is one of my favorite beers in Chicago. So much so that I made my own beer. I Sat by the Ocean, which is a Queens of the Stone Age song title, and I miss making that beer. There's a lot of information for you guys. You're welcome. I just took a sip. It's tasting pretty good. Let's see what you guys think. Also, while Brandon went to clean glasses, Matthew and I had a long conversation, as you guys know, about yoga.
I think we have different definitions of long.
That was long for me, dude. It was really long. I felt really uncomfortable. Also, man, that was a great time to like make a penis joke, and I didn't. Like with definitions of long, like that's what she said type of deal. That would have been really fun. What do you think? Of the beer?
I was thinking it. I was like, I'm just not going to do it.
Should have said it. That would have been great.
I'm not going to do it.
Brandon, what do you think about this beer?
It's great. I'm getting the hibiscus.
Mhm.
I'm getting the lime. And you're actually getting that hint of saltiness kind of at the end. So the salt that's present in here reminds me of when you did the I Sat by the Ocean. Just kind of, it's not a punch in the face. It's very subtle and just kind of sits there. It's a pretty well balanced beer. Goes is not my go-to.
Clever.
But yeah, this one's, I'm enjoying it.
I would say I get more hibiscus than anything. It goes hibiscus, and then I get lime, and then I get salt.
Yep.
And there's a tartness, that goes as some, have the little bit of tartness in there. But I'm surprised how much of hibiscus that I get, because with Revolution's Rosé, I get the hibiscus, but also it drinks more like a beer that has hibiscus in it. I'm going to say hibiscus and hibiscus both times.
Hibiscus.
That biscuits. Dead biscuits in the beer. Dead biscuits here? That I get a lot of. And maybe it's just the grain, but I like Matthew's facial reactions when I'm saying things. So I'm second guessing, am I right? Do I taste it? I do taste it. That's what I'm getting mostly out of it. And I really like it. It like I said about Beer for Tacos, that's the first thing that came into my head. Goza with lime and sea salt. That was kind of my comparison point. Mm-hmm. And having this, maybe that's why I get more of the hibiscus. Matthew?
Yeah, I think everything is there. At first, I wasn't in hibiscus, got it more on the nose, but especially right at the finish, I'm getting it more. Maybe I want a little bit more lime. Maybe I'm not as big a fan of gozas either. Like, everything is there exactly what you guys are saying, and there's just something about it where I'm not
getting or feeling.
Yeah,
is feeling the right word?
Like, it feels like everything's correct in it.
Yeah,
it's just
I can see that. It's definitely not a bad beer, but I can see it being a beer that, like you guys are saying, I get everything. I don't know if it's for me. But again, if I showed up and I brought these to you guys, and hey, I brought one, you're not gonna be like, no thanks.
No,
I don't want that. Yeah, this beer is my jam here. It's a really good beer. I like this. I feel like out of trying some of the newer beers tonight, this one is kind of more up my alley for a springtime beer. This kind of brings me into spring mode. I'm ready to now I'm ready to fire up the grill. This would be the first beer that I would have going to fire up the grill.
What would you cook with it?
I would probably make chicken burgers that have feta cheese and sun-dried tomatoes. They're very tasty.
That sounds really nice. What kind of bun?
Brioche? Brioche bun. You can also do a fake aioli with a little bit of by fake aioli I mean just take mayonnaise and add a little the chipotle peppers you can get in a can with the adobo sauce. You take the adobo sauce and you mix it up and make it into the mayo, and you spread that on top. A little, what is it, butter lettuce, they call that? Bib lettuce? Bib lettuce.
I think there is butter lettuce, too.
I think it's butter lettuce, too. I think it's the bib lettuce, though, I'm thinking about. Anyway, it's from Gotham Farms in Illinois. I get that big thing and put it on there. It's fantastic.
Put the whole head of lettuce on there.
Whole head of lettuce on there. I had one drink and did not smoke any weed before I came here, but my brain is making me feel like I possibly did more than that.
Maybe you just did so much you forgot.
Oh, fuck. Okay. What have I done?
I think that's what I'm missing. I need to have that chicken burger with this beer, and then my mind would be blown.
Yeah, the chicken burger is fantastic. I'll give you guys a recipe sometimes. It's very easy to make. Very tasty.
Well, this has been Tony's Table.
A new segment called Tony's Table. I like that.
How many Ruby tiers, Tony?
Oh, how many Ruby? Thank you. Like I said, this is in my wheelhouse. I'm going 4.1 on this.
Right. Matthew, what about you?
I'm going 3.6, but 4 if I get that chicken burger.
We'll see you this summer, baby. Brandon?
I'm at like 3.75.
Yeah. I think we're all in an agreement that it's definitely a good beer, but obviously, thank you.
Welcome back.
Different tastes for different people.
Yeah.
All right, let's what we got next?
I think going on with that style because we've gone with a couple stars. We got to keep it rolling.
There we go. I like that. We are going to have Revolution Brewing's Pursuit of Freedom. This one is a session sour ale with dragon fruit and natural flavors. Again, another brewery. You know, this we didn't even set this up to do it, but they will also be at Chicago on tap.
What do you know?
April 25th. It's going to be great.
Well, they've been doing a lot of great stuff, and their Pursuit of Freedom series has been really fun with all the different types of fruit they've been using.
Sorry, I poured a lot out of this one. Sorry, guys.
It's a 16-ounce can.
I know. I felt bad. Maybe I poured too much. Yes, we have talked a lot about their Pursuit of series, and their mixed pack is fantastic. My favorite is the what is it? The blueberry and ginger. Was that the one?
Yep.
Blueberry ginger. I got a 6-pack of that for my birthday a couple years ago. But all of the Pursuits are delicious, and getting a 12-pack of those, that's definitely a springtime summer beer. So when I saw this, I was oh my God. I saw you guys make a face when you smelled it. Holy shit.
To get the nose of a dragon fruit is extremely difficult. So I'm sure there's at least a little bit of different extracts to help get that nose because of how much water is in a dragon fruit. And I love dragon fruit.
Yeah.
Freeze it, scoop it out. It's great.
Matthew's helping me get healthy, guys, just so you know. He's becoming my life coach. By the way, you're becoming my life coach.
We'll see.
Fuck.
I don't know if I want that responsibility.
Number one, you gotta keep a calendar.
I know. I was gonna say it's canceling of plans. That's fucking everything up for me right now. No, we'll get to number 2. What do you guys think of this? Yeah, by the way, it does say natural flavor, so I'm assuming that's where the extract parts come in there too.
Yeah, which that's how you help get a little bit of extra nose for different things.
Sure.
Sometimes, especially with a super watery fruit, anyone, and I don't know everyone's breweries and different things, but like watermelon, the amount of watermelon you would have to use to get actual watermelon flavor is never going to happen unless you own a watermelon farm.
Which I do. Did I tell you guys that? I own a watermelon farm, so if you guys ever want to do a watermelon beer.
See, this or...
No, there's seeds. There's seeds in there. So let's figure that out.
They had flavor.
Yeah, seeds have flavor.
It's fun to spit the seeds.
Actually, not a big fan of watermelon. I'm actually not a fan of melons.
What?
Sorry. Cantaloupe, honeydew. Get out of here.
That's not that great.
Watermelon's okay. Watermelon's okay.
Pineapple's where it's at.
That's not a melon.
I don't care.
Okay.
Watermelon's got to be good, though. That's the thing. It's like, because you can have watermelon that is like too watery and it just washes out the flavor of the actual watermelon itself. But you get a good quality watermelon.
Is frozen watermelon a thing?
Could be.
Frozen grapes are a thing. My grandma used to do that all the time.
Oh, I do that all the
frozen
time.
Oh, it's so good.
Interesting.
Yeah, give them a try, dude.
The amount of sugar and water in it it doesn't freeze all the way through, so it has the consistency of like ice cream. Like you can bite through it easily.
I don't know. I feel like in the videos we've sent back and forth to each other, there may have been a video with a drink where they froze water or grapes and then
They
that
froze
kind
water.
of like
Yeah, I think you're right.
used it for ice or whatever it was, and then like as it melts, you get that grapiness.
So if you freeze them and take off the skins, you can probably throw them in I mean, it's tedious, but you can put them in a blender and make like a little grape
Juice.
sorbet.
Oh yeah, if it's partially frozen. Yeah, interesting.
I'm just making shows as I go along here. What do you guys think of this? Anybody, you guys? I mean, Brandon, because Matthew already kind of spoke.
I like the dragon fruit on it, and I do love the nose of it. It smells fantastic. You should make a dragon fruit cologne.
Whoa.
I've been doing bergamot and grapefruit. Yeah, strawberry.
Do it.
I'll wear it.
But yeah, so it's like kind of what you said. I don't think I've had any of the Pursuit beers that I didn't, enjoy. And this is right up there. Again, super well balanced.
That's what we do. We only pick balanced beers for these.
The body on it is great. It's super easy drinking. What is this one though? I'm trying to see what the ABV. 4.5%.
Yeah, 4.5. Yeah.
I mean, this is like perfect for you're kicking into spring, into summer. Like this definitely would be a good summer beer too.
This you can drink a lot of. I feel like I could have
4.5%.
We're buying a 4-pack of those, and like I can get through maybe 2.5 of them.
Yeah, I mean, fantastic.
Shit face.
I would definitely get this one again if I do see it, because I think this is another one that I can. My wife doesn't drink a lot of beer, but if I get stuff that she enjoys, then she
likes to try it.
Yeah, and I'm totally in that. It's in that wheelhouse. So yeah.
Yeah, and I was going to say the other pursuit that I remember us really liking was the orange and cranberry that we did for the Thanksgiving episode. The Pursuit of Freedom orange cranberry.
Yeah, dude, that was fantastic. And
that's
like
really good.
And like the idea of that being like a Thanksgiving beer was just like such a perfect idea. Like it goes so well. I mean, I didn't actually have one to sit down with my turkey, but I'm like,
I wanted to, but I never made it out to get another one. But that one is fantastic, and it's actually getting me. Having that is getting me excited for summer and getting like a 12-pack of the Freedom series because they're so good.
Like the mix pack.
I know that makes me jealous. I'm still trying to figure out how to do something similar.
Like this.
I love that it's 4.5%. I love that it's light. I was looking at the price. That's what I was trying to figure out. It's like how much they're charging for a 4-pack. Because I know the 12-pack is under $20. Right?
Yeah, it's like $17-18 maybe.
Yeah, which again, so like a little bit different than New Glarus, which I think it definitely the bottles and how they do it.
Sure.
Promote is a little bit different, but like,
well, even like
for non-sour drinkers, like
this especially like
this isn't a sour.
No, well, it's funny because it says sessionable sour, and like the first thing I thought of, which I'm not knocking it, it's not very sour at all. There's like a slight, very small tartness at the bottom, but you don't really want sour with the dragon fruit. I feel like you know what I mean.
Yeah, and that's where I love the lighter body. Mildly tart, little bit more fruit. I always say with Cushy, it's mildly tart, heavily fruited.
Yeah.
But it has that body. Like, I love that it doesn't have this body because this is one of those things for spring, summer grilling. You can have 3 or 4 of these and
share them with people, and everyone's going to like it.
Yeah.
Well, it's like even the Freedom Lemonades that they did. The Freedom Lemonade and the Freedom Strawberry Lemonade. Those are... the last couple of years I've done the Freedom Fest, and I've not been able to go. And I really would like to go this year. I hope I get to go because they do a whole bunch of like random one-offs that just sound like a lot of fun.
Is that usually in like July-ish?
Yeah. I think they did like a cherry limeade one.
Yeah.
Like
that sounds familiar.
God, that just sounds, just knowing all the Freedom like beers that they've done, that sounds like, why isn't that canned already?
I know we've talked with them a few times, and I'm sure Barrel Aged Stouts on people's agendas for us, and then my agenda would be like, I want to do a session sour that's just like...
For sure. Why doesn't Old Irving and Revolution get together and do a sour?
Make it a thing.
Make it a thing.
Hashtag.
Everybody make it a thing.
OIB Rev Sour.
Yeah, start tagging it in posts. Start emailing them. Email Rev, email Old Irving, and say, why haven't you guys done a collaboration with each other for a sour beer yet? And then you can spill over to barrel aged stuff later. Anyways, Brandon, how many Dragonfruit seeds are you giving these?
I'm doing 4.25.
Nice, Matthew.
Yeah, I think 4.1, 4.2.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 4.15 right in between you guys. How's that?
Son of a bitch.
Weirdo. Delicious though. Fantastic. Still, I'm waiting to find a Freedom beer I don't like. I hope it never happens. Well, I think we have time for maybe one more beer.
I think
Am I
we
right
drank
about
all the
that?
sours, though. We did 4.
Shit, we did. Great.
But none of these are the, like, super acidic sours.
No, it's perfect. Like, that was pretty fantastic. Brandon's going into Matthew's cooler and pulling out... we already drank that. Cinnamon Prost.
Oh, going different.
There we go. That's a Jolly Pumpkin beer. It's a farmhouse.
Oak aged, can conditioned. Tart and toasty balance of malt, hops, and yeast.
Does it say toasty or tasty?
Tart and tasty. Yep.
I thought it said toasty as well, which I'm glad.
Biere. I'm gonna go with.
Sure, that sounds like a good name. Yeah, I saw this because Farmhouse and Saison beers are also, a good beer to have this time of year. And you know me, just like Clark, I'm pretty much a Saison aficionado here. Like I can pick a Saison out of a blind taste test.
That's like Dan's wheelhouse too, right?
Yeah, but it's not really mine because remember we did the blind beer challenge and it was a pale ale and Clark and I were like, that's a Saison.
Yeah, well, if you ever do Cicerone and they ask about doing the stylistic, they will really only give you Saison DuPont because everything written about Saison is basically pegged to Saison DuPont because otherwise, stylistically, it can be all over the spectrum. Basically, Saison is one of those styles where if you don't know what it is, you are safe probably saying Saison. Okay. Because you're probably not wrong.
You know what? I'm going to call all my beers now Saisons.
If you don't know what they are.
Do I know what they are?
Barrel-aged stout. It's my Saison that I made.
An artisan farmhouse ale that is golden, naturally cloudy, bottle conditioned, in this case a can, and dry hopped for a perfectly refreshing balance of spicy malts, hops, and yeast. This comes in at 4.5%. It's a farmhouse Saison. 3 of my friends have had it. And shout out to Joe J. You had this back in 2015 and gave it a 3.75.
Ooh, Joe Jet?
Joe J. Joe J. Anyways.
I was like, our bartender?
No. What do you guys think of this?
It's immediately refreshing, followed by like you get all that spicy phenolic.
Yeah, right in the man.
Like I was like, oh, this is spring, this is winter.
Yeah, yeah. This is not.
It's Chicago.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, that's what this feels like. So this was canned
Chicago spring beer.
So when I grabbed it, so I went to Bottles and Cans. I did not go to Beer on the Wall for the first time in a long time. It was just a 5-minute quicker trip to Bottles and Cans today. And I hadn't been there in a while, and I thought it was good to go back. It was nice because where they had their single cans from where people had separated stuff, they had everything marked based on style and location. So it was great. So at the bottom, I saw Saisons and stuff. I was like, okay, great. Saw a couple there that I had before. Saw this. I'm like, oh, great. Jolly Pumpkin. Let's get it. Grabbed it. When I got to the car, I looked and it said canned on. You know what? That's a lie. I was looking at that. 12-13. That's for whatever this was. I have no idea when this was canned. And it's not on there.
It's a random 4-pack.
Wow. What an idiot. You guys trust me to do this show?
Didn't Jolly Pumpkin have a Chicago spot for a hot minute? Was it Jolly Pumpkin? I feel like they did.
Matthew just made a face like he doesn't know and kind of shrugged his shoulders for those of you who couldn't hear it.
Hey, you can recognize facial.
Facial recognition. Yeah, I'm not sure when this came out. I don't know. Maybe this is more of a winter, spring thing.
Yeah,
they did. It was in.
There's a date on here.
Oh, I couldn't see it, Matthew. I need glasses.
Yes, I think. So I was gonna say, I think it was in Bronzeville.
Oh,
and it closed in like 2022 permanently.
What month was it made?
August of last year.
Okay.
So it's like end of summer. So which end of summer is kind of like beginning of spring.
Right. And it's okay. It was there. It was there, and it's not on Jolly Pumpkin. This is on me buying this can from there.
And saisons hold up well. So
Absolutely. Overall, though, I do like it. I think it's very tasty. It's definitely a farmhouse saison. Which, you know, when I first discovered, I'm repeating myself 1,000 times. The first time I had saisons, I loved them. And then I burned myself out on saisons to the point where I'm like, I never want to drink another saison again. So it's nice to go back and forth and find saisons like, this is good. Like, I would definitely buy this again. This is in my wheelhouse here.
Yeah.
It's in my Q zone.
When's the last time you had saison DuPont?
It's been a while.
You should try it.
Okay, I will. Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
It's the classic.
Oh, I know. I'm familiar. Just been a while since
Are
I've had
you?
it. I don't like this attitude you're giving me right now, Matthew. Now I remember why we didn't bring you back in the show recently. This guy's just mad because I cancel on him. Brandon, what do you think of this beer?
I like it. Saison's not like my go-to. I do think it's got that tartness that I enjoy, you know, from sours or saisons and things like that. I'm trying to get like what the flavor profile. There's like something in there that I'm getting and I can't quite put my finger on it.
Farmhouse funk.
Is it that wet horse blanket?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but like I like it though. It's not off-putting.
This is also oak aged.
Yeah, I'm not getting much oakiness, and I think that's kind of what I was searching for. But I do like the tartness, and I do think it's a well done beer. Yeah, I mean, I would drink this again. Maybe at the end of the summer, in the fall. I don't know. Try it. See.
I can see this being more of a fall beer. I think that's what it's for. I think it's supposed to be more of a fall beer.
Yeah.
So I'm actually not gonna fault the beer in the rating for that.
Yeah.
It has the flavor. It has that lightness that you get with some of the saisons. It has some of that depth. The more you drink it, I think less of that funk kind of, you feel it. You kind of get used to that.
Oh, yeah.
That funkiness. And I think that's what some people really love about the saisons.
I'll be honest. I did see 4-packs of this at Bottles and Cans. And
Interesting.
I wouldn't be opposed to like grabbing another can of this again to have soon. Because I love fall so much. I just like a taste of fall every now and then. You know?
Yeah.
Fall's my favorite time of year.
So how many Jolly Pumpkins are you giving it, Tony?
Ooh.
Fuck, the guest is now no longer a guest. He's pretty much become a third edition, another addition to the hosting duties here, whether he likes it or not. But he's now asked me the question, and I'm not used to that. For this particular style, I'm going 3.8.
Okay.
Definitely not a spring beer. What's happening to me? What's happening? I'm going to 3.8 though. I really like it.
Interesting. I thought you were going to go higher than that.
No, I think it's still because I don't really love saisons. But what I like about this beer, or what I like about saisons, I do find in this beer. This is hard to explain. 3.8. Will I finish what's in the can? Yes. 4. It's a 4.
It's a 4. Brandon, what do you think on this one?
I like it.
How many pumpkins? How many Jolly Pumpkins?
Yeah, I like it. Like I said, it's not like my go-to style. I think 3.6 probably.
Matthew.
Interesting. See, Tony got in my head because I was going to go 3.8, but I was assuming he was going to go higher than me.
Ooh.
So then I was like, what?
Don't adjust your rating because of Tony.
But then he also was like, oh, it's not my style. After he spent that whole diatribe about how much he likes saisons, is going on about saisons.
No, I used to like saisons. I burnt myself out on saisons.
Okay, so I guess that I thought they would just bring it all back to you and you'd fall right back in love. But I guess not.
It's all coming
Good,
back.
I'm glad I got in your head, dude. Good. I'm glad. Welcome back to the show.
Living rent free.
How many Smashing Pumpkins are you giving this? How many Jolly Smashing Pumpkins are you giving this beer?
3 4/5.
Wow.
Ooh. Math.
You're not ever coming back on this show. You're not invited ever again. Oh, God. Yeah, okay, fine. We'll go with that. Good call. What do you guys think overall of all these spring beers? Would you drink these all during spring?
Yeah, even the one that's supposedly for fall. But I think we had a good lineup.
Yeah. Good choices, everybody. Good job. Way to go.
Even though they're, randomly pulling from the bag, but I think it worked out well.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I love it. I don't even remember. I think we got through all the ones we brought, so I'm happy with that. It's fantastic.
Mission accomplished.
I think we noticed here that sour definitely seems to be a trend here for the spring.
Yeah, it's refreshing. It's a nice way. I mean, like when we come out of dry January, I've always said that I like brewing a kettle sour. It's refreshing, and here we are at the end of March. It's perfect.
So is that where you guys think you're going to be drinking this spring? Is a lot more sours? Are you going to go lagers? What are you looking forward to drinking when you do start grilling out?
Beer.
Pale ales.
I'm with you on that one.
But I also wanted to expand, and try new beers that I haven't had. So these were all under that blanket of things. I'm always trying to find different beers that I've not tried when we're building episodes here.
Yeah, but even I'm lagers and stuff like that too, I feel go really well with grilling. And that's kind of what I've tended to do. Is have a nice lager.
I've grilled a lot with Doji. And I'd like to grill a lot with Wendy from Old Irving.
Thank you.
Who's Wendy?
Who's Wendy and why are you grilling with her?
I did meet the Wendy from Wendy's once.
What?
The Wendy from Wendy's? Or the Wendy from Wendy's?
The Wendy from Wendy's.
I heard the Wendy from Wendy's. Yeah. Just saying, Wednesdays.
They did a food truck at Northwestern once and she
Really?
came.
What?
And I was like, she's a real person.
That's insane.
It's Dave's real daughter.
Did she have her hair?
Double baconator or something?
The Baconator.
So good.
Are you ready to die? Eat the Baconator. I mean, I had it once and I was like, it's like when I had a deep fried Oreo. I had a deep fried Oreo once and I was like, this is so good. I never have to have it again though. I had a Baconator once. I'm like, that was fantastic. I'm never going to eat this again. There's just certain things I know I don't ever have to have.
You want to live past the next year.
Now, saying that, this summer I plan on having a fried Oreo and a Baconator. Because I'm going to the gym. It's my cheat day. And I'm going to a carnival and then to Wendy's. All right. Matthew, thank you for joining us again. We appreciate it. Always a pleasure to have you.
Thanks for having me back on.
We'll call you again soon. Maybe not too soon. I don't know. This attitude you have with me, we're going to have to work through that. I got enough shit from the other guys who are, if you notice, they're not really on the show anymore.
You don't even know if they're alive.
No, they're alive. I still see them. But
Mine comes from a place of love.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Brandon, I love you, buddy.
Love you too, man.
And we'll see everybody next week.
Bye.
Bye. This has been The Malting Hour. Be sure to follow us on all social media by searching The Malting Hour and at themaltinghour.com. You can also follow us individually on social media. Brandon can be found on Instagram as BMDub81, on Twitter, BDub81, and on Untapped as BDubDrinksBeer. Tony can be found on Instagram and Untapped under Ace of Help Chicago, on Twitter, The Ace of Help Chicago. Clark can be found as Clarkowski on all three. Dan can be found on Instagram as hip__hops and hip hops on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe, like, and rate the show on your preferred podcast listening platform. Until next time, cheers from all of us at The Malting Hour.
So, you've got an idea for a business, the store of your dreams. There's just one thing to figure out: everything. That's why Shopify's all-in-one commerce platform makes it easy to sell online, in person, and everywhere else. Sell on social media, source products with an app to get that first sale feeling. It's the only solution that gives you everything you need to sell everywhere you want. So when you're ready to bring your idea to life, power it up with Shopify.
Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/listen.
Waiting on a tax return? Hopefully it ends up in your hands. Fraudulent tax returns due to identity theft increased by 30% in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Our U.S.-based restoration specialists are experts dedicated to helping solve your identity theft issues. And all LifeLock plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package. So we'll reimburse you up to the limits of your plan if you lose money due to identity theft. Help protect your information this tax season with LifeLock. Save up to 25% your first year at LifeLock.com/aware.